Hi, it's Cindy
And Michael.
from Part-Time Permies, and if we could get a sound check, that would be awesome, but you've been running the stairs.
Yep, just loading, getting ready to load the car for orders tomorrow morning.
I was trying to give him a second to catch his breath, but
He gave me 1 minute notice.
I did. But still, they ran the stairs 3 times in that minute.
4 times.
4 times.
4 loads of box. That
Oh
was
my gosh.
9 boxes,
Okay.
9 cases.
Your mom's in the room.
All right.
First one to say hi, and she tried the pasta carbonara recipe today with peas and grape tomatoes.
Yeah, that's a good. Peas are nice for the protein. Grape tomatoes actually give you a little bit of acidity, and because it's a heavier dish, it's a nice way to. Yeah.
And Carrie from Built on the Rock Homestead's in the room, Incense Shop. 13 Munes Homestead, and let's see, who else? Bree, and Suburban Hillbilly. Hello, hello. Awesome. So you have sound. And Green Gables just joined. Hello. So as people are joining in, we're going to go over a little bit of this week's projects, or kind of continuation of last week's. Didn't get a video done. It's been nuts. We've had something every evening this week.
Yeah, well, I've had special. It's my third week. Is always a extra market. So.
Yeah, extra market, vet appointments, doctor's appointments, just something every night, and even for the next few nights, I'm busy. So didn't get a video done this week. I have one started. Hopefully, it'll be done by the end of this coming week. So a hootenanny video, because we really need to get that out. Anyway, so that is to come soon. I was hoping to find some time in there sometime this week. It didn't work. Let's see. Did we miss anyone coming in? Yeah, you made it on time this time, 13 minutes. Yes. And I did I miss someone else coming in? I see a hi pickers. I must have missed that. And aim high just came in. So yeah, I did actually start putting notices on our Instagram when we're about to go live as well on YouTube, even though the two platforms are completely unrelated, but we do have a decent following on Instagram too, so we might be starting to get some people from there. My chair's running into yours, I guess. Yes. That's all right. Sorry.
And your foot.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, so we have a few things. We have some, let me see if I can pull them up here. Some new chicks. I don't have a good picture yet because she keeps hiding her chicks when I come to try to take pictures. But this hen is the one who almost got smashed by a falling tree a few weeks ago because she was hiding eggs under the peonies. And I gave her all her eggs, but that probably wasn't a good idea because she had like 16 eggs and I think 2 hatched. One other developed almost to hatching. A number of them were quite rotten. I didn't kindle them because she was not going to let me touch anything in that nest and barely tolerated the move into this nursery tractor here. So, but she did hatch 2. I think next time if I have a broody girl hiding eggs in the middle of summer, we'll give her fresh eggs, not her own.
It was pretty hot. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and she had been hiding eggs for a little while, so some of those had been sitting out in the hot weather, in the hottest part of the year for probably 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, that was our mistake, but learn from that, move on. She has 2 chicks to raise now, though. The other chicks are, so that chick, you can see a little tiny chick in that picture.
Yeah, they're there.
On the rear end. The second one I don't think you can see in here, but that's just a couple days old. Our others are about 2.5 weeks old now. And there's 9 of these guys. That little one with the barred wings, I was very surprised that when its wings started coming in, that we had anybody with barred wings, because we don't have any chickens with barred wings. And I never mated the Wyandottes that we used to have. So that is a gene that's, I guess, in our genetic pool here of mixed breed chickens, but that'll be kind of cool to see how that develops further on coloration, because most of our chicks are white or light color, cream or so, But they're cute. Other projects going on. Switching around here. There we go. How to find us again. No. Other projects besides not having any evenings to do much of anything all week. Did get out briefly today and to work on the project we started last week. So those of you guys, we had a guest last week. If you missed last week, my dad was here. And today, in between rainstorms, I did start getting the roof framed out so that next week I can just put on hardware cloth and put on some shelter, some plastic corrugated roofing material on here and get that finished up next week because we're going to be getting meat chickens in 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks, yep.
Yeah. So that was another project today. You've been working all day inside.
Yeah, I got big orders due tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And cleaning up the kitchen and paperwork.
Yep. Oh, there's been more people. Hi, Tina. More people came in the room. Genetics so strange. Have a rooster whose weird crow is identical to his father's. Yeah, that does happen. I think we had two Chanticleer roosters, but one was a mixed Shanty rooster, and the other one we still have. The red one we had a year ago, 2 years ago, about. I guess Leafy is getting healed before this winter.
Okay.
Because Leafy came from leap year. Got them both at the same time, but the other one was more mean. But he did spread his genetics around a little bit, and he was mixed with something else because he was not a white Shanty. He was a red one, but looked a lot like a Chanticleer otherwise. Hi, Diana. So getting that barred chick, I think, must be from him because he had the mixed genetics in there, and all the other Shanties are white, which is why so much of our flock is white. I would like to get some more color in there because white is not very camouflaged in the summer. So, hey, Laura, Green Raven just showed up too. Anyone else? Yeah. But so we're getting the meat chicks. Butchering time will probably be in October.
Yeah, it was supposed to be end of July or August. We were supposed to be putting away 30 or 40 meat chickens was the plan, but that hasn't happened.
Yeah, no, that's all right because the people we're ordering with had to delay on their end.
Well, we were supposed to first have our own coming.
So. Yeah, well, there was that. We needed some hens to go broody in the spring, which never happened. So this spring was kind of odd with that.
So we're hoping to have 6 months or more chicken in the freezer, although freezer's a little bit full. I still need to make some room in the freezers.
Yeah. Hi, Michigan Mike. People are still coming in. So yeah, the meat tractor, I think since the framing is actually the hardest part, the rest is going to be just tacking on things to the walls of this to protect the chicken. So should be pretty fast next week. But with my dad's help last week, that does help a lot to have an extra set of hands just to hold things in place for you when you're drilling and screwing screws into it and all that. Anyway, so that was fun. It's coming along, and it should be done by the time we get our chickens. Otherwise, we're in trouble because we need housing for them. I guess we do have our winter coops if we need
winter coops. They put them in there for a moment, which would be fine.
Yeah, but then you have to catch them all again and move them to put them on pasture, so that would not be fun.
Well, you just open the door and you put the coop up against the door.
The pasture coop does not have a door that opens on the side of it, just a door on the top.
Well, then you just have to make room for one.
Yes.
Or prop it up and push them in there.
Something, yeah. Anyway, we can figure it out. Anyone having a rooster obsessed with trying to breed a duck?
I think I might have heard that. I can tell you they're not going to breed our geese.
Well, our geese are male.
Our geese will tell them where to go.
Yes, they would. I guess I've heard of that. Our goose is in love with the chicken. He follows her everywhere.
He doesn't try and breed with her though.
No, he doesn't. Although I think he would smush her if he did. I don't think he could figure it out. But um, yeah, he might. I don't know if he's terrorizing your duck too much. You might have to, yeah, do something about that. But um, working on a nursery yet, suburban hillbilly. Nursery tractor or nursery? We have stuff built up in our nursery area. We actually have a little nook off our bedroom where we're going to have the everything set up for the baby when it comes. I still have to organize it and get things set.
So we got Michigan Mike and Tammy are in, and of
Yep,
course a little bit ago Tina came in.
yep. Um, so as far as the nursery goes, we're not doing any painting or anything big. We have a lot of
Well,
hand-me-downs
we
that are
have,
going
yeah,
in
because
there.
we have a cutout area in our
Hmm.
master bedroom, which could be used, or other areas. It's a fairly good sized room.
Hmm.
And that's mostly windows. And that's not permanent. And then we have a spare room,
Yeah.
but it's one down from a hallway and my office, which is would be a very small bedroom. We're not going to use that for probably quite a while because it's too far away.
Yeah, so at least for the first probably 6 months or so, the baby will actually be in our bedroom with us in that nook. It does actually have a set of doors, so technically you could close it off from the bedroom,
Yeah.
but it's a little nook in the bedroom that will be used, and it just fits. It fits the crib, it fits the changing table, and it could probably fit
Yeah, I
a
mean it's about
glide
I
rocker.
don't know, 8 by 8 or
Yeah, it's a
10 by
small.
10 room. It's a decent
It's
size.
a decent
It's probably
size.
more like 8 by 8 or nine by
Yeah,
nine. I don't think it's quite 10 by 10.
yeah. Um, how many weeks am I now? I am 30 weeks right now, so only 10 left to go. So yeah, that's moving kind of fast. We do have a local baby shower coming up here soon as well. So we have to get things ready for that in addition to all the other projects we have going on, which means we got to find time somewhere. Uh, with all the doctor's appointments and everything else, that would be a whole nother matter. Um, let's see. Okay. Yeah, Green Raven. If it was not for worried about the duck being injured, it would be funny. Yeah, it is kind of the cross species interest is kind of cute sometimes, like, unless it starts hurting the other species. But yeah. Um, okay. Now I did have a little bit of foraging stuff that's not ready yet, but I did have a picture of Puddin who was leading me into the woods here, so I'm going to change the topic here again. But we went walking along and we're checking on our sumac bush. We have two types of sumac back there. One of them is ready. The staghorns we've already harvested some from, but this is a winged sumac. So I believe if you look at the leaves, you can actually see on either side of the stem, there's like a little extra leaf material. So I think that's where it gets its name. But it is in flower right now, and somehow I have two pictures of the leaf, not the flower, but you can see the flower on the bush. It does have a white or greenish, yellowish flower on it, and then when it turns to berries, it will turn red, and you'll be able to harvest that just like the staghorn sumac and make some sumac-ade from that, except it won't have all the hairs. So I kind of like that one better in a way, although the hairs do tend to hold more of the acidity on them. They just have more surface area to build that up. But yeah.
You can find the baby registry if you do a search
Yeah, we do
under
have a
our
baby
under our
registry.
name. You won't
Yeah.
have a problem
Oh,
finding it.
we do have a Amazon baby registry going.
What's the name? I don't even know where. Somebody asked me
Yeah.
where it was. I'm like, I don't know. Do
It's
a search.
Amazon.
I didn't know what it was. I'm like, it's out there.
Yeah. So keep it easy. I could get everything in one place there. But
Pudding was at the vet this week. What
yeah.
Well, they didn't wear it because she didn't want to get. Last week was
She didn't
125.
want to get up? No,
What
she
was
was
it?
112
112.
or
Okay.
something like that. 110, 112. So she is a lightweight Dane. She's a skinny girl.
I think elderberries are starting. Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of elderberries. just coming along now.
Yeah, no, there are some. Allergic to sumac. Oh no. Want to try it? Yeah, that's probably an unusual allergy because most of the stuff that comes, well, many people are
It's
allergic to the
malic
poison.
acid. There's definitely people,
Yeah,
or it's
malic
malic
acid,
and is it
cit
and salicylic?
no, citric.
No, citric.
Malic and citric
Yeah,
acids.
because salicylic you can't really eat. That's poisonous to
You can
everybody,
only eat
or very
limited
small amounts.
amount. That's actually what's in some of the sorrels and things.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I mean, uh, there is one type of sumac though that most people are allergic to, but that's technically in a completely different family and it's found in wetlands. So that is the poison sumac, which has the same compound as your poison
I
ivy and
think
poison
the
oak.
Cynthia and Laura Livingston has changed
It
to
did
now
change to Mike's name.
my name because
Yeah.
it didn't make sense, did
No,
it?
I only had my sister on it to help me with build it, but this weekend I did change it to Mike's name. So if you look at Cindy and Michael, um, then you will find it as well.
And
But yeah,
Mission Mike said storms are coming through. Yeah, we got some
yeah,
fairly heavy rainstorms this afternoon. I don't think it was a direct hit, but we had some heavy storms earlier in the week. Also missed us for the most part.
we had
But
storms.
Wednesday, I was coming back from market in the later afternoon, and it poured. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
we
did
probably got an inch or two.
real
I know the
fast.
east side of the state got, in some places they thought might have gotten 3 to 6 inches, and somewhere else I saw some isolated area got 18 inches of hail.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
like Vicksburg or somewhere like
No,
that,
that was east.
east of it.
That
Well,
was a different storm.
okay.
Yeah.
No, we
But
did get storms today. We had multiple
I
storms
know
come
that
through, which
the
is,
hail was like Tuesday,
yeah,
pre the Wednesday storm, pre today.
yeah. But we did have some strong thunderstorms come through, have some branches down and back again. You were either in the basement or uh, in your office for some of it or something. But
It's mostly cleaning in the basement.
yeah, I was outside trying to, it this afternoon anyway, trying to get that meat tractor done, but was cut off at times because I'm working on it outside the barn because it's a little bigger than the barn door.
Hmm.
So um, that makes it hard to work in the rain. So I did get a little break in between, or I was able to work on it in between rainstorms a little bit, but had to take breaks for the storms. But and then it was bright and sunny in between. Nice.
Yeah, we've been a little dry here. We've had most of July and into August is very limited rain. So we've been getting some dew in the morning because we've it's been humid in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, we as far as needing the water, yes, some of it's come a little bit fast.
Yeah. Oh, if we could have spread our spring water out a little bit more, it would have been better because we had tons in the spring. But Carrie's in Texas, so I
Yeah,
think they're normally dry in the
yeah,
whole
we have
country of
pokeweed. We
Texas.
have a decent amount. We have a friend that just put up a bunch of posts on pokeweed.
Yeah,
She's having problems in her pastures, and I guess it's pretty toxic to
horses.
her
Yeah,
horse, so she doesn't want it around. But she's getting a tremendous amount of it growing up.
yeah. So she was trying to find a way to not spray, but get rid of it. And they were talking about it on the permaculture group, out competing it with grasses because it actually doesn't like a grassy landscape. It likes the forest edge.
That's not going to work for a pasture, though. They have a developed pasture where
It's
there's,
not developed. That's what she was
well,
saying.
it's been used for years, so it's mud. It's not.
Well, it was actually originally woods. So she was trying to turn her woods into a pasture, which is why it had pokeweed growing, because the pokeweed likes the woods. But yeah, they gave her some ideas, so it was kind of
Mostly it
cool.
was just keep chopping it regularly so it doesn't grow
Yep.
up and it may exhaust itself.
Yeah, keep mowing it down as it grows. Yep. Toxic to goats. Yeah. Toxic to people too, unless you're eating the really, really young shoots, but it's one that you really have to be careful about because if you get it when it's mature enough, it can be bad for people too. But so if you know what you're doing and or you have a fortune guiding
Well, when you
you,
just have shoots, sort of like asparagus shoots in the spring,
yes, but you
that's
have to know what it is too.
yeah, and
So
you need to blanch it at
yes,
least once, if not a couple of times,
a couple times.
before you do your finished cook or
The
saute.
young leaves you can eat too, but you'd have to blanch it multiple times to get the toxins out of it to be able to eat it. Changing water and all of that. So So there are people who eat that one. Finally got your elderberry to come back from the root by placing it in a bucket. Okay, cool.
We did that. We had a bunch
Yeah.
of starts that were in
We had
water.
cuttings. So we were
Yeah,
growing the roots.
yeah.
We weren't starting from root. We were growing the roots. But yeah, no, we put them in the ground out front too. So we have that.
So they're there. They're making it through the heat. We've given them a little water. There's been some burn, both through heat and moisture and humidity on fruit trees are really taking it
Yeah.
hard this year, and we have some new fruit trees, but the commercial ones are taking a lot of fire blight and a couple other things due to the extended humidity
This,
and water.
yeah.
Yeah, the fruit. So it's going to be a little touch and go, but if some of those things make it through this year, they should be doing all right.
And we had a frost that got some of them too. So I think the peaches and things got like there's hardly any local peaches this year because of the late frost. But
Yeah, I think 3 times on a more established pokeweed, a
yeah.
basic blanch on a very young shoot, and then you can either continue with another, stewing it or doing a saute with butter, what and treat it kind of like spinach. But
Yep.
the older it gets, definitely multiple changes of water. The older it
And
gets, the less the less it's really worth it.
well, the
So,
older it gets, the more toxic it is.
yeah,
So don't even do a full grown pokeweed. I wouldn't even do.
no.
And the berries you don't do. They're
People use them for dyeing.
dying.
Yeah.
Yes, it's actually the seeds in the berries that are bad, but they're tiny. So yeah. Um, it's bad when Oregon's dry. Lots of grass fires.
We had a
Ooh,
small roadside grass fire down the road from us, along I-94. There's a patch that
okay.
burned out this week. They're in the process of doing the second cutting for the year. They cut the roads only 2 times now, all the highways. In fact, we have a huge John Deere still sitting in our yard as a friend who is contracted to do
Yep.
some of that work. He does local highways, not the interstate. But yeah, it's dry enough that there was a burnout area that sparks or cigarettes or whatever can definitely cause grass fires here, although this rain will settle things down for a few days.
Aim high. One good thing about pokeweed is it does create a lot of biomass. So if you chop and drop it and use it as mulch, and you keep dropping it before the berries form, then you'll eventually kill the roots off of it. But I do know that actually my permaculture teacher likes having one or two pokeweeds or a couple, as long as it's not taking over the entire garden. He likes having it in the garden because he uses it for chop and drop as one of his big bioaccumulators. But you don't want the berries to form because if you chop it and drop it with the berries on it, even if they're not ripe yet, they will ripen after laying it down, and they'll create more buckwheat for you for next year.
And we have 5 and 6 foot tall weeds in our garden too. So
Yeah, we have not been in the garden much.
not too much pokeweed. I have fairly
Ragweed.
actively pulled pokeweed. Now that we've got it dug deeper, the pokeweed with a tug comes out without too much
Yeah.
problem. If you let it establish, you'll get a root that's the size of a parsnip, and you can tug on it all
bigger.
day long. You have to dig it with a spade.
You could get a 3 or 4 foot taproot on some of the older established pokeweeds. They get a little bit crazy on that. But we keep pulling it. And we have a couple plants in the garden, but
I wouldn't worry about your arboretum burning. I mean, it's unfortunate for the moment, but a lot of arboretums in nature areas that are grassy, they control burn yearly. So while it's a temporary issue, you should get really nice come back. I mean, obviously, if it burns some of the trees, that's a longer issue. But yeah, a lot of nature areas around here, they almost always control burn because it's just so good for it, and it controls larger fires. But yeah.
Suburban Hillbilly. Birds decorate our white SUV with pokeberries. It makes a good dye.
We've never bought a white SUV. Oh. That might be part of the reason why. No. We have a blue and a gray car.
Yes. Yep.
They don't get washed too often. They get washed on occasion.
Well, we'll do Ask the Chef, but we also have a giveaway this week since we're getting going and we're about halfway through the evening. We have how many people in the room? 11 people.
Chances are pretty good. You got 11 people. Numbers are low. It's like it's vacation time. Yeah, markets were way off this week. Everybody was complaining that sales were terrible. We had a nice day. and I don't think they were terrible, but last week was really strong. It surprised me how good the markets were. I don't know why. This week we had a night market
Oh, it was
downtown, which
slow,
takes
isn't it?
some people away,
Yeah.
but it got real slow. So people are starting to get ready for back to school and they're traveling. So
Yeah.
market will be down for about 2 weeks. And I was telling people it's sort of like restaurants. Everybody panics, but if you look year over year, it's just part of the trend and it's part of your average.
It's vacation
It'll
time.
come roaring back as long as there isn't an early football game that affects it a little bit on Saturdays. But first games are night games, so yeah. In the fall, people come back, and then you start heading into pumpkins, and the tomatoes are here, and
Yeah.
it'll come back, and we get really nice strong weeks for quite a while as long
In
as the weather
September.
behaves.
Yeah.
September and October.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about it. If
And
we're into the middle of a couple weeks into September and things are really slow, I'm concerned. Something changed. It's
yeah.
not good.
But I'm guessing the giveaway tonight will be pretty good. I mean, there's only the last 3 people. So our giveaway rules, by the way, and we'll explain what we're giving away here in a second. But the rules are if you've won the last 3 months, you can't win again this month. So that excludes Claire Burke, who I haven't seen in here yet. Linda Taylor, also haven't seen, and the White Picket Fence. So maybe up in the air for anyone in the room here. We do have, and this kind of will lead into Ask the Chef too. We do have a choice on the giveaway today. Do you want to explain these? Unless you're seeing a question that comes up here.
Yeah, I'm reading it. There are lots of people and lots of discussions about growing vanilla orchids.
Oh boy.
It is generally difficult. They are difficult to propagate, maintain, and get a high quality product. Don't forget, once you maintain them, you need to carefully harvest them at the right time. They need to go through a drying and a fermentation process
Yep.
before they're usable. However, they are readily available online, and it's a pretty neat thing. Don't plan on getting rich selling them to everybody, but if you can figure it out, you're going to do well.
Yeah.
So,
Save you
yeah,
money.
we've been on a shortage of vanilla for the last year or so. Bad weather across much of the country, Asia, Mexico, and other areas, and I believe there's been some disease-related issues also. I think it may take more than one season. I think it may take 2 or 3 seasons for them to start developing pods. But it's a neat idea. I had a friend who was looking into it as a greenhouse thing. So yeah, don't put too many eggs in that basket, but go for it, and it'd be pretty interesting. But it is a whole process.
It'd be a fun experiment, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, 2 choices on giveaway. Going back to that, or do you have another one?
Nope.
Okay.
So we have a 1-pound package of Shady Side. These are black turtle beans. Shady Side is a certified organic farm in Holland, Michigan. They have a beautiful website. They focus on lamb, organic, and heirloom beans of about 20 or 30 varieties. Some wool products, and they do some cornmeal, which we've talked about before. So we've become pretty friendly with them. We just really like their product. I don't get it. I don't sponsor them. I don't sell them. But they're at our market every other week. I talk with mostly the farmers' parents that are there, and we think they're a really great operation. So I keep the bags around. So these are nice, and if you're really interested, you can go online and buy them.
Yeah.
If you're into beans that are interesting in color and flavor and actually in texture and have real flavor, or if you're interested in a very clean organic bean, this might be something to chase after. We actually brought some down to the roads, or no, I brought some of the cornmeal down to the roads because they were on the Gap diet at the moment and couldn't eat corn. But I thought it was a clean enough specialty item that it might work for them. And Anna, who does a lot of their cooking, was really excited about it. So
yeah. So we have that versus your typical
2 packs of pasta of either your choosing, or we can select something that we think you might like.
Yep.
So either one, and we will, in this case, mail them out to you. You need to provide us your preferred mailing address and such through our email or through the website.
Through Facebook. Facebook is usually the easiest way. You could message straight through Part-Time Permies or to me, or you can send an email to parttimepermies@gmail.com. Any way works. You just whoever wins. Basically, I will put a question out there, and it's whoever has the correct answer on our screen first wins, as long as they didn't win in the last 3 months. So, oh yeah, Aim High's had the pasta. I forgot about that.
Did Aim High make it to Hootenanny this year? I'm not sure. I didn't see her.
But you came late.
I came late.
And
Last year, I
too.
think I missed her, but she was
Yeah.
there, and I think you may have.
Yes. Yeah, I think she was there.
Well, if you put the pasta and beans together, which is a combination, I guess we're not giving away, you can kind of do a pasta fagioli,
yeah,
which is a pasta with beans, which is a really nice way if you're looking at boosting protein, working with some fun stuff, and then you can. The best thing I think is putting in a lot of roasted or toasted garlic, making it a little brothy, working in a whole bunch of greens, and then shaving some nice hard cheese over it, or if you want to, you can add chunks of Italian sausage to it. But that makes a pretty perfect beans and pasta dish that doesn't take very long to produce. If you've soaked your beans and have those ready, you can pull the whole thing together real quick.
That's true. So we have a recipe for you now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were there
okay,
you said you were coming this year. I didn't. I think
I thought I ran into.
I wasn't there really yet, but
yeah, she bought pasta this year. I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's
yeah.
Well, thank you.
There's a lot of people there. So quick question. First person with the right answer, spelling has to be correct. In fact, this one is about spelling. Wins your choice of either pasta or these black turtle beans, both organic. So
that's right. You mentioned your sister's name there. I do remember that now. Yep.
Okay, the question is, how do I spell my first name? Easy enough.
Your legal name?
No. What I go by.
Oh.
How do I spell my first name?
I guess my mom's disqualified.
Your mom knows if she could type fast enough. There's probably a few other people in the room that I think know, but most people get it wrong.
Tofu's not a bad idea. Yeah, you can have a blend. Yep.
Trying to be vegetarian, yeah. So anyone, there's a delay.
Yeah, you know what? The non-meat alternatives are good, but there we go. Green Gables has it capitalized and everything.
Yep, Green Gables got it. It's all Y's and no I's.
We're having a tough time here.
People know. Well, I also gave a clue that it wasn't the typical spelling, but anyone know the story behind the spelling of my name, of that name? It changed in 4th grade. Aim High. It was the typical CINDY.
Suburban's going crazy there.
That's too funny. But Green Gables got it. CYNDY. All Y's, no I's. Yeah, autocorrect doesn't help on this one.
Oh, that's true.
That is true. That especially with cell phones, it's probably a lot harder to do that one on cell phone.
Yeah, so Green Gables, you can get back to us and let us know your choice of either the black turtle beans or
the pasta.
2 pastas, and your best way to figure out the pastas would be
go to the webpage.
Look at our website. We do have other things that aren't posted on there, and there may be some things that are out.
If you have questions on things.
But pretty much,
I think most of it we have.
I think most of it's in. We're almost out of Gramenia. We're taking that off for a while, but I have new shapes coming. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just listing the webpage.
But you can, that will give you some ideas on our shorter long, and then we have rye, spinach, and beet, penne, and tricolor, carrot, bell pepper, and spinach campanelle, and that also has the traditional, so it's a 4-flavor blend.
Yes.
Vegetable flavor blend. So those 2 I may not be on the website right now, but are both available.
No, we don't usually do I haven't had many of the seasonal ones on the website.
Yeah, the tricolor one we should have on there, but some of that stuff's going to change up pretty quick. We're moving back to pumpkin, and fall flavor items are coming back into
pasta, of course.
Okay, we'll send you pasta.
Yep, take a look at the webpage.
Did Green Gables win like a year ago or so?
I think Green Gables
December. Oh wow.
Yeah, December. Yep. That's been a while.
All right, so we'll get out 2 pastas to you in the next couple days.
Do you want us to pick, or do you want to go to the webpage and pick? I guess is the other question.
Let us know.
Yeah, just let us know either here or in the email. And we should have your, if it's the same address as
Actually, I
last.
may have it in my shipping system.
Yeah,
I have to look, but I don't have my laptop here.
but yeah, send us the email anyway. We can double check, make sure we have
Yeah,
it
when
right.
you're making pasta fagioli, I recommend using a good chicken broth, a double stock, or reducing that stock down so it starts getting all the gelatin and actually thickens between the starch of the pasta and the chicken. And then you can either add in chicken or smoked chicken or sausage. But yeah, I think cooking your greens and your beans and finishing that type of dish in a hearty chicken stock or vegetable stock is preferred.
Yeah. Hey, anybody want the story behind my name? Or not? It actually had to do with something that came up on Hollard's videos a few weeks ago. Um, they were talking about Cyndi Lauper. And in fourth grade, I was 10 years old. I love Cyndi Lauper. I didn't like having a name that was spelled traditionally, and I didn't want to copy her completely. But because she spelled Cindy differently, she's Cyndi. I decided to go all Y's and no I's. So I didn't quite copy her, but I did change it because I liked her stuff. So 10-year-old me decided to be different. Aim high. I made fettuccine, mix it with sauteed squash and tomatoes and olive oil. Oh, she had the olive oil from us.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we just made. I didn't do pasta tonight. I did some lentils, some tomato, seasoned lentils, and I had some yellow and green squash and tomatoes,
I didn't
and
get a picture of that. Yeah.
and we had some shishito peppers and fresh tomato and some cilantro. Most of it from the market and a variety of friends and connections and leftovers and traded items. Our fridge is so full of fruit and vegetables from various markets and farm stands and trading stuff around
Yeah.
that I'm actually trying to
Clear.
build dinner items to use things because I have mustard greens, kale, I had some broccoli that was not local sitting around I had to use. I have jalapenos, shishitos, some pretty hot banana peppers. Um, Blueberries are almost going bad. We have a couple different types of melon we need to hurry up and eat. I have some sugar plums or prune plums that were not local. I have 2 types of Asian sweet potatoes that were on discount at Horrocks. Big bag for $3.50. So the white Asian sweet potatoes and the yellow ones, for like the Japanese or Korean style. Yeah, so I'm trying to go through lots of different produce items. Oh, and I got the weirdest herb from Nabi, and then Noel gave me another really cool herb that was sort of a succulent. I don't know the name. I've got to get my hands on it.
Okay, gotta go look at it.
This one I don't remember the name. It's Mexican.
Okay.
This is Nabi said this might be used in Spanish or Mexican style cuisine. It might be a replacement for cilantro. I find it really hearty and aggressive. It tastes like what it smells like. It's really strong. Like you could make beans or stew, but
Yeah.
pretty easy on it. It almost is like geranium-y pungent, which can be way overpowering.
It looks almost like a wild geranium.
She told me it starts with a P.
Yeah.
It's got a herbal, medicinal, somewhat soapy, lightly bitter, kind of cilantro-y, but it's a little more fragrant and like floral.
I wonder if the people who think cilantro tastes like soap.
Oh, I thought right away. Kate, who works with us, can't stand it. I'm like, this would turn. If somebody thinks they hate cilantro, I guarantee if they ate this, the world's ending. This is bad. I mean, in the cilantro world.
But if it's
I have
the
to
same
figure
chemical.
out what to do with it. I think it is because if I had to describe anything, it's closer to a wild cilantro, but not. That's it, papalo or yeah. Do you know what to do with it?
Here's the chef asking you.
I mean, I have general ideas how to use it and like stews and how strong flavors like epazote and culantro are used, but I don't know a specific for this. I got a lot of it.
Yeah. Um, the
I got
question is how to spell it. Okay, let me
that's
see.
close. What the sign I
Popallo.
saw. Heat loving cilantro alternative. Yeah, it's spelled correct.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
Papalo.
P
P
A
A
P A L O.
Papalo. That's what Nadia said.
Popolo.
Papalo.
Fabulous unknown ancient Mexican herb that you should be growing. Heat loving cilantro alternative. Yeah.
You don't need to grow a lot of it, I can tell you that, because you could cook for days, I think, with that bunch.
Says its flavors. This is just a random web page I found. Flavors are. Oh, where'd it go? I lost it.
Flavors are bolder and more complex. Well, see, you don't need them to tell you that. I just
No.
told you that. Go back to
Go
the
back to that page for a second.
arugula, cilantro, and rue. Nasturtium, yeah, lime, cilantro. Yes, it has a nasturtium-like or geranium-like. There is like a bitterness of the lime. You know what? It might be nice. I could see an Asian soup where you float a little bit at the end and bring out floral characteristics in like a soup broth. I wouldn't. It's pretty strong. I'm going to say more people are going to be not into it than it's. Chrysanthemum is another one. Asian chrysanthemum was put into soups, and I had some of that. I have a Thai woman who's a really good cook and grower that I get to see frequently, and then Nabi also grows it.
Oh, the American Homestead uses it for salsa, grows it.
I could see putting small amounts, especially a fruit salsa, like a mango salsa that's almost too sweet and you need some balance. It's a natural Beano, but well, is that the same? Because I know that oh darn, I'm forgetting.
What else?
Epazote.
Yeah.
Epazote is a natural gas reducer, and that's why a lot of times it's cooked in beans. I'm not sure if you're confusing that or this is also used in the same way.
So
yeah, and I don't think I'd do a puree soup. I think it would get the more you cook it, it would get more and more bitter. But I think chopping it up and putting a small handful in a light broth with like rice noodles or something or even like a lemony or maybe even a curry. But I would use it as a garnish because I think it'll get super bitter really quick if you cooked it down.
I'm going back.
But I'm only guessing from the flavor profile because it's pretty new to me.
I'm going back through the comments when we're looking at the other page. Tammy said her dehydrator died today and was dehydrating vegetables for the winter soups. Oh no, we haven't used our dehydrator that much.
No, we don't dehydrate a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, fresh. More stuff. I love good dried peppers.
Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of really good ones. I find it easier because you use so little, unless you're making like a house mole or chili powder.
But what about the skins? Dry the skins after they take the seeds out for cooking. Grind and dry the skins and use them for powder.
Yeah, that's. Okay. I'm not worried about the seeds. I actually want. In fact, I want the seeds out. So when I rehydrate dried ones, I soak them and I get the seeds out, and I'm going to puree either wet or I'm going to grind dry the skin. And yeah, the seeds are useless to me. I mean, they have the heat, but they can be bitter. So it's the flesh that I believe is mostly what you want.
Carrie asked a question about foraging and restrictions because of pregnancy. Medicinal things, yes. There are some restrictions on those, and frankly, I don't use those as much anyway. I'm not foraging so much this summer.
Middle of the summer is kind of not great foraging time. There's a little bit of stuff
through July, like spring through July, you get a lot of stuff. Right now, you have some primrose. You do have Queen Anne's lace, a wild carrot. If you're comfortable making sure you can distinguish that from poison hemlock, which is not hard, just make sure you know it. A lot of things have slowed down. We do have a little bit of red clover left out there, not a whole lot. Definitely, I'm trying to think. Most of the things I would harvest are slowing down, although our There is one you can harvest that's about to bloom. The goldenrod is just starting to bloom, and you if you're going to harvest those, you want to harvest them just as the blooms are opening, because if they're already in full bloom, then they will go to seed as you try to dry them. So you can do that. So the ones that you use for food, I have no problem harvesting. The ones that are a little bit more medicinal, I'm a little more hesitant without looking things up quite a bit. So I'm not harvesting the primrose right now. I'm not harvesting. We had St. John's wort that was just basically done now.
Probably some of the stronger forage mushrooms you'd avoid or have in smaller doses for a
Yeah,
while.
some of the medicinal mushrooms I think are okay, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think the reishi is okay and stuff, but most of them, yeah, the medicinal ones I pretty much stay away from right now. The food related ones I think are just fine. Like if we went and harvested our maitake, whenever our tree, I would eat the maitake, no problem.
Yeah, maitake is pretty mild, and the
It does
oyster.
it does have, oh, and oysters both have medicinal
Yeah, but
properties,
they're.
but
Oh, Navi
they're
had some
food.
beautiful
Oh, they
oyster
did. She
and just a
did.
few at the beginning, and some very small chicken mushrooms. They were nice.
Was this the herb you were trying to think
I
of,
don't
or
know.
the Solidago?
No,
Anyway,
I don't know. I
yeah,
know epazote is used, which
yeah.
is like a strong oregano flavor and grows up, and there's like green or there's bluish purple green combo. Grows up sort of marijuana-ish looking, but not exactly. It's just in the general. All
Yeah,
those, all in oregano and everything, all in the same family.
yeah.
But it would be, well, people could,
It's in a mint family
yeah,
then.
people could mistake it, but they would be pretty wrong, I
Yeah.
think. But it has some similarities. Thai chilies, I love. What I like about them is they're very
Mhm.
hot, but the heat is piercing and then it dissipates. It's also building so that the more you eat, you can really build. So it's not too hot and then it can get really fierce, but I find that it goes away differently and faster than others. Yeah, they dry really nice. So even just on a sheet pan or on a rack with a little bit of wind or a fan, they'll do all right. Or on a dehydrator, they can be used fresh. You can chop them up into little ringlets, really really tiny. If you take the seeds out, it'll cut the heat down a little bit.
Mhm.
But I like to just cut super small rings and toss them into all kinds of stuff. Fresh salads, curries. You can quick stir fry things with them. Look to your Thai cooking and Malaysian and things, but especially Thai. They use them in everything. You can also, when they're dry, or you can use them whole. You can saute with them, and then you can remove them before you eat them or cook them, and use it to flavor just a little bit. You can do ceviches, where you make a marinade of lime juice, or like a leche de tegra,
Yeah,
more
Solidago is goldenrod. I forgot that.
okay,
That's the
more Peruvian
yeah.
style that has a variety of citrus and sometimes some coconut milk or other things. They use different peppers, but they use very, very hot pepper in that, and you just float it in your liquid that you then marinate your fish for ceviche. But it has really nice bright flavor. The green ones and the red ones, little different flavors, the ripe and the unripe. But yeah, I find them super, super useful. They're one of my preferred hot peppers, and when you have them fresh, they're just so nice.
Yeah. So the other thing, by the way, going back to the foraging, pregnancy and medication, the other thing you have to watch is to make sure you're not having any conflicts with potential, medications that you'll be using and stuff. So if you use like some of the pain meds during delivery, then you do have to watch that a little bit too. So just to throw back at that. So I am hesitant on using things that I don't double check with the OB. Um,
Those peppers can get awfully hot. I'd say when
two
you
conversations at once. Yeah.
when you cut them, if you're going to cut more than a few, glove up. If
Yes.
even if you're just cutting a couple, wash your hands really well. Not with hot water because hot water spreads the oil. At first, soap up, wash, and re-soap up and wash. Get under your nails because it will sneak up a couple hours later. If you get it under your nails, you're cutting a lot, and then you will feel it for the next day or two. To the point where it can be so hot that it'll cause your skin to eventually blister.
I've had some people say that even using gloves, it starts melting the gloves if they're chopping off.
Maybe with the heavy
So,
latex.
yeah.
I've never had pepper that hot, but Yeah, I would say, and then of course you always got to watch your knives and your cutting boards, because then you go to cut fruit or something else. That's actually a case a lot of people do that. They cut onions, they don't think about it, then they cut fruit salad, they draw their knife through or put it on the board, and they bring the and then they bring that onion flavor or cilantro flavor or pepper into their fruit salad.
Oh,
So just give it a good quick soap scrub and wash. It dissipates pretty fast, but
mhm.
and if you cut them, you can cut them without gloves and then just do it quickly, wash
Wash
before you
good.
wait too long, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Um, Oh, by the way, going back to the discussion on blackberries, raspberries, and all that,
Yeah, ours are done.
well, we don't have blackberries. We have dewberries, and our dewberries are pretty much done.
Second crop of late bearing raspberries are coming around about now,
Yeah, the
but we don't have
domestic
any.
ones.
Yeah,
We just have wild ones, so they're done. They were a little late this year. We actually had them in the beginning of July instead of the end of June.
yeah.
But so we do have a bunch of frozen berries. I did definitely harvest them. We will soon have autumn olives, and I will harvest those. I think we'll get a good crop of those as well. Um, so I'm going to try to get out there
I
in
think
a
that
few weeks and do that.
I think the papalo could definitely be put into chimichurris, put into a compound butter. I think it'd pair well with oniony or garlic products. Um, yeah, yeah, I think you could do things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Tammy, the season here was odd because everything was delayed because of the rain, but then it got dry so much that it seemed like everything was back a couple weeks on the
We didn't
berries.
get blackberries last year. We did decent this
We
year,
dewberries, we don't have black.
or dewberries. Well, it's a
Um,
form of blackberry.
yeah, it's related.
They didn't come last year because it
No.
was so dry and hot. They never matured.
Yeah. So last year we didn't really have any. This year we had some, but I didn't have the time to go do a good harvest, although I snacked while I walked on the trails. Um, the raspberries we got decent some harvest this year, so we will eventually make some jam from those. By we, I mean he will eventually make some jam from those. They're in the freezer right now.
Maybe you'll make jam when you have time off.
Um, yeah, with your help maybe. I'd rather be behind the camera.
It's pretty easy. 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of fruit.
There you go.
Boil it.
Yeah, no, because usually the black raspberries that we have will ripen right around my dad's birthday, and it was literally right around the 4th of July, so that was a couple of weeks late. So, yeah, I think our
A
season
lot of
was
ours
just
are in a
weird.
heavy forest also, so if they
Mm.
were in a little bit more direct edge of sunlight, they would be sometimes a
Ripen
week or two.
earlier.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
even faster. So
Yeah, yeah. We do have a staggered actually ripening of our black raspberries because we do have some on the roadside, some on the side of our house, and some more shaded on the edge of the forest. So it does, you have a succession of the ripeness of them. But the ones, if it's really hot and sunny, they get dried out and they get kind of seedy. So the ones in the shade actually taste better, most
yes,
of
I do
them.
use pectin. I use, well, actually bought a while ago. I bought a big bag of not semi-commercial pectin. So the little containers that you buy, the little packets and jars, they're such a ripoff. It drives me crazy because um, there's so little in there. By the way, I almost double what the recipes suggest, because I tend to keep the fruit chunky, and if you don't
Mhm.
break up the sauce, break it up more. Yeah, so I tend to go extra with the pectin because it ends up runny, and if it's too firm, so be it. If it's too runny, then sometimes it's unfortunate. Um, but I bought commercial pectin. You can usually get it apple pectin
Mhm.
or such in tubs, and I bought a big bag, which would be more for say a hobby canner or somebody does a lot, because you can throw so much when you're throwing a buck or so a pack into pectin, and you're using, you look at all the little packets you got to open, then you look at the fruit you either harvested or bought. Pretty soon you're starting to wonder why you went through the process of buying jars and lids and everything else. I know your jam's better, but it's kind of crazy. So go look for citric acid, go look for pectin in bulk. Buy a pound bag or a 2 pound bag. It'll last a long time, and then you can add your own sugar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we should But the other things we should do is play with the autumn olives this year, because I think last year we didn't have a good harvest of autumn olives.
Tammy, see, that's exactly
Yeah.
it. You go to the bulk store or you go to whatever. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the cost is so. The convenience packets are nice. And when you're making a small batch and they have the freezer jams and all the rest, which it's all nice, but it's Susie Homemaker. And if you're going to make containers of many different things or cases,
Mm-hmm.
just jump online, go to a bulk store or jump online, eBay or Amazon and send something in. You're gonna really save a lot of money.
Yeah. Aim High's never used pectin.
You don't need to with a lot of things.
Sugar, lemon juice, and fruit.
Yeah, so you need sugar and acidity plus fruit, and you'll draw a lot of natural pectins. So apple and apple cores and berries, especially, have a lot of pectin in them. So if you have good fruit and especially you cook it down a little bit and you mash it, you won't necessarily need it. But it's a nice way to finish it up.
13 Moons buys citric acid by the 50-pound bag for the
Oh, okay.
yarn,
yeah, I have like a 1 or 2 pound bag.
For yarn dyeing.
Okay.
That's cool.
Now, is that food grade? That's the other. The other question is always check if it's chemical grade, food grade. Things. But yeah, that's.
Tina. Yeah.
Citric acid's really, really inexpensive. That's mostly what's in your lemonade packets if you buy commercial lemonade, sugar and citric acid.
If you could take sumac and use some dried sumac instead of some citric acid.
Yeah, I mean you could make a jelly. You could make a sumac jelly using
you could do that too,
apple juice and sumac, but you don't know the concentration, and you don't need to add citric acid to most fruit because it has enough acidity. So pectin gels due to mashed fruit pulp and fiber, sugar content. That's why low sugar, reduced sugar jams have a different pectin it's a little different construction or more pectin. But the matrix is acid, fruit, sugar, the liquid, and then the pectin. And you can bring it all together. The other thing you can do is you can boil down apple cores or quince cores, and you can take that liquid, because you can buy a liquid pectin. You can take that liquid if you happen to have the right items, crab apples and such, and you can make pectin. And yeah. $4 a pound at the Amish grocery store. Yeah, that's crazy.
Packet is 6 to 8 tablespoons for $4. Amish grocery store is $4 a pound. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, so pectin, it's derived from a couple things. Roses and rose hips, by the way, you really don't need to add pectin. They're extremely so if you have fruit that's low, you add in things like quince.
That's another
or
thing.
Rose or apple core, apples, and you can build that stretches it and it cuts down your fruit costs for berries, but you can actually build in a stronger gel that way.
So that will be another up and coming foraging is about the same time as the autumn olives will be the rose hips.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of wild.
The jelly rose hips are really big. They're about almost the size of cranberries.
But we have a lot of wild ones which are free and in our backyard. So that's another foraging that will be soon. But there's definitely a lull right now for what's out there and available. Except with the rain, maybe we will get some mushrooms this week.
We might. We've had enough. We might get a little something.
Yeah. So
get some early boletes or midsummer boletes. Chanterelles have been popping up a little bit, not around here, but
a little further
some
north,
cinnabars and some other things have been up. And then so chanterelles, they've got a window when they could arrive, and how much they arrived last year was a decent year. But yeah, on the lookout for chanterelles.
We don't have them on our property though.
We should though. We have the right.
You'd think, but we need to spore them or something.
Cranberries are super high. Yeah, I don't add any pectin. Cranberry gels itself really easily. Cilantro gels up really good too. If you ever noticed you had cilantro to your salsa, fresh salsa, and you leave it in the fridge for a few hours and it gels itself.
Do you know about prickly pear and pectin needs?
I'm going to guess it doesn't need much. It's got a lot of fiber. I don't know if it has pectin, but I've worked with prickly pear. I really like it.
There are people who make prickly pear jams.
Jams and juice. Yeah, it's tasty. I'm guessing you need very little pectin in that, and I'm sure somebody has a specific answer. I'm going to think it's a pretty high pectin containing fruit.
Yeah.
Um,
The more fibrous.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can look up all kinds of lists of how much pectin to add for jams or jellies.
Name reveal video. That might have to come with baby reveal video. So we're still working on the name.
Yeah.
We don't have the name. I've had a lot of people ask, do you know the name yet? I'm like, not yet. I've had a couple people suggest making a short list, come up with like 3 or 4 names that you like, and then when the baby's born, pick one of them because you don't always know until you look at the baby what the name is. So, so I don't know. I don't know how close we'll be getting to due date before we pick the name, but still working on that. Um, a lot of dittos on that one. Yeah, name and baby might be revealed at the same time, I'm thinking. So we'll have to wait into fall for that one.
Yep.
And hopefully not on like Halloween. I'm guessing there will be a little break in live shows and videos right around the due date.
Well, Carrie, you're lucky. We don't have prickly pear, although they can grow around here.
Yeah, they do grow around
But
here.
yeah, I like prickly pear.
Yeah. We tried to grow some. We tried. We put it in the wrong place. Yeah. So we got to try again. But we have very sandy soils. They do grow in our region, actually naturally, as well. So, which you think of it as being like a Texas thing or a hot climate thing, dry. But I think it's more sand than dry than
yeah. We
heat
don't grow the
underneath.
other cacti really, but
That's the only
prickly
one.
pear does well. It'll handle the cold.
So that is something we should try again at some point to see if we could get some more prickly pear from some of our permaculture friends and put it in a better place this year. So anyway, any other cooking questions? It's already 10 o'clock at night. So if there's any other cooking questions, did we miss any in there? Talk about canning. We tend to can in the winter, by the way. We don't can with the season.
A lot of times we freeze and then time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they show up in our market,
Yeah.
Our farmers market. Yeah, but they're.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I definitely know some of our neighbors or friends in the area do have some. Both Mike does and PJ.
And Navi does too.
And Navi does, yeah. So we should be able to get some. We just have to put it in the right place. Okay, recently I'm thinking that's learned that lady's thumb is not just a pain but edible. Lady's thumb.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know that one either. I'll have to look that one up. All my right pears on the plants near each other. Everywhere else the pears are green. Yeah, it probably has to do with the microclimate.
Some prickly pears ripen yellow, and some ripen the
pears or
purple.
prickly pear is the question.
Prickly pears.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple colors on them.
But I mean, which one was she talking about?
Prickly pears, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's probably some sort of microclimate there. Let's look up lady's thumb. I don't know lady's thumb. Unless it has another name to it.
Oh, we get those.
Yeah. Red Chenka? Oh, no, I haven't seen that one.
I've seen those.
It's in the buckwheat family.
Click on it, make it bigger.
The picture or the description?
Picture. I can read the description.
There you go. So again, we're surfing the web as we're doing a live show.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen them on our property though. Anyway, so oh, got a buffering warning. Sorry about that. I don't know if that's happening right now. It doesn't look like it should be, but okay. What farmers market do you sell in? A couple of them.
I sell in the Kalamazoo market and the Texas Township market on Saturdays. Cindy's at Texas Township, and then Battle Creek on Wednesdays.
Yep. So 3 markets this year. The big ones that have been doing the best for us are Kalamazoo and Texas Township. It seems right now. So
Yeah, Battle Creek's been slow. I don't know if we're going to be able to continue that one next year. I got a lot of other things going on that are probably more worth my time.
mhm.
It's a changing market, not as good as it had been in previous years.
Okay, just seeing if I missed anything else on here. Oh, I think that seems to be slowing down on the questions. We have a couple things that we'll have to see if we grow in our area. We also have to get more forage for the chickens because we need some fall forage growing.
Yeah, we're going to have to get feed either this week or next week.
Yeah.
I have to call him and ask him to make a blend for us, a fall hardy, winter hardy blend.
Yep.
That can start going down and get moving as rain. It's a little early, but pretty soon when we get fall rain, it'll be a good time to establish those.
Yeah. When
Battle
does
Creek.
oh
I don't know. It probably runs
October or
till
something?
October. I don't think it goes into November. Kalamazoo goes all the way till the week before Thanksgiving.
And then
And
it
then
moves across the
moves
street.
across the street to a smaller, unrelated market immediately the weekend of Thanksgiving, all the way through until the big market opens.
Yeah.
So you can do a market 52 weeks a year
In Kalamazoo.
and we attend about 49 of those probably. Something.
Yeah, unless we're out of town for something, we're there.
Yeah, I mean, even when there's snow, unless it's terribly icy roads, there's about 25 or 30 vendors that show up in the winter. So sometimes it's really slow, and we're not sure why we're all there. And we trade off some product because we're all overloaded, and then we go home and go, that was a waste of time. And should have stayed in bed. But yeah, it's pretty much year round. Battle Creek, I have to look at the time. There's a website. I am assuming it's going through October, not into November.
Or even maybe earlier.
If it gets too slow, I'll probably pull out a little early.
Yeah.
Which I don't usually do, but I've just got so much going on. And with the baby, I'll be a little more questioned on the late stuff if I continue doing that.
Yeah.
Again, I got a lot of. We're getting ready for fall and Christmas online and all the rest. So
a lot to do.
Yep.
Should try Marshall.
I've heard good things about Marshall.
Yeah.
I've heard
it's a little
Marshall's
distance, but yeah.
I've heard Marshall's doing well. It's not much different than Battle Creek.
It's a little further.
Marshall and Holland Market.
Yes.
The week, I don't know if that's a Tuesday or Wednesday or
a weekday market.
Yeah, the Holland Market. It's a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night does well, I've been told. That's quite a drive though. I mean, I've got to sell a lot of product to make the time and fuel pay for it. Our margins aren't that big, and I have to sell 100 units or something to make a drive like that. And I haven't been selling that number.
And of course, Grand Rapids is huge.
Yeah, and Grand Rapids we'd like to move into doing stuff in Grand Rapids, but we don't have a route or anything established there. We're trying to develop more in Battle Creek, but Grand Rapids is going to be is a project that I'd like to do it, but I need to dedicate a lot of time. I don't have connections with restaurants there, so I need to develop those. I can do it. I'm really comfortable working with, finding the good restaurants and working with them, but I need to be up there probably 2 days a week for a while to pull that together.
Going. Yeah. And then have to make the deliveries up there.
Yeah, well, that's what the 2 days are.
Yeah. But I mean, not just making the connections, once you have the connections.
Yeah, you got to be up there 2 days a week, every week, or at least 1 day a week on a delivery route, plus making all the products. So that's a lot of commitment.
Yep. So anyway, we'll wrap up. We will be back next weekend for, oh gosh, is that the last weekend in August already? It's
a 5 week, it's a 5 Saturday weekend. I don't know if it's a 5 Saturday month. I don't know if it's a 5 Sunday.
Thursday. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know when you can check your calendar. That's
right. That's true. On the computer. Yes, 5 Saturday. Ends on a Saturday. So yeah, next Sunday is the last Sunday of the month. We will be.
It's the 18th.
Next Sunday is the last Sunday of the month.
Oh, Sunday.
Yes, not this Sunday.
I guess,
The 25th is the last one. And then we'll be into our September. It seems like this summer just flew by. But oh boy, here's another pasta question for you. What about storefront? Outside the box in Marshall is organic and vegan.
Yeah, I am.
Uh,
I am actively
would
looking
yeah.
for storefronts to handle dry product. We're trying to up
Marshall might be a good place for
product on
that.
that. We sell at Argus Farm Stop in Ann Arbor.
Hmm.
In fact, we're sending a big order out tomorrow. That's what I was
Working on.
finishing up tonight.
That's why you were running the stairs.
Yeah,
1
so
minute.
we're a little short on dry product right now, but that is definitely our target is not grocery stores. We cannot properly merchandise and describe what we're doing, and we don't attract enough of the right people looking for product. When you go to a specialty store, who people are already seeking out either local or specialty, or, organic or artisan culinary items.
There is a
we
vegan.
have no problem selling product.
There's a vegan store in Coloma.
Yeah.
That is already stocking some of the product.
Yeah, they don't
too.
sell much, but they have some.
Yeah, they do have some there too.
I mean, he's more of a restaurant.
Yes,
He's got a little bit of
a dry and prepared items. So.
But yeah, that's we would definitely be interested in getting stuff.
You see a cattail.
We're working a little more on like a once a month route across to the east side of the state. There's another couple places that we might look at. So that's farmers markets are good, and we like doing our local farmers market. They are not, and I think this goes for a lot of people selling in markets anything. So if you're thinking about selling in markets do not pay your bills. They allow you to test things. They're fun to do, and they get your name out and do marketing. And so they do lots of positive things. So I think being in markets is important, but the idea of picking up 6 or 8 or 10 markets, and I do know people that do that, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours and a lot of travel and a lot of paying people. And it's a very unknown yield before you drag it all back home or throw it away. Yeah, the farmers market model for most specialty foods, and we work with a lot of small specialty foods, is doesn't pay the bills. No. So we look at a variety of other options.
It's more for marketing.
Yeah. And being local, we have our best prices, we have our biggest selection. We'll do special orders, we'll do pickups. All that takes place at the market, but we just do it at a few places. Yeah,
so outside the box sounds like a similar store to Argus Farm Stop, although Argus does meat too, it's not vegan. There's a place in Chelsea that's similar to Argus as well. So there's a lot of those little stores. Those would be good to get the pasta too. Even Bronson Hospital has a little market that has some of the pasta in it as well, and there's a local smokehouse.
Yep. Yeah, so we have a number of places, but we're growing that. We're also trying to grow our ability to both make and pack stuff faster. Yeah. Because we're not capped out, but we're close right now. So
without extra,
we keep adjusting our equipment and staffing and processes to try and do more efficiency without changing the quality of the product.
Yep. And okay, 2 questions. That was Helix's tail, yes, suburban hillbilly. And the other question, where's Puddin'?
She's camouflaged.
She's camouflaged behind you. I don't know if you could see her on the couch. So behind your chair probably. I wasn't able to be, Anyway, so both animals are in the room, which means I have to close the door to the backyard before Helix decides to go back out there again for the night. So we should wrap up here. I know I said that before.
Yep, I got things to finish up.
You have things to finish. I got to get ready for bed, go to work tomorrow early. So we will see you next week. Come with your questions for cooking, and we'll see what we get done this week. I'll hopefully have another chicken coop done. Yep. So yeah, couldn't see Puddin' on that. The chair was in the way, but
she's there.
She is there. She's curled up in a little ball, as little as a Dane can do. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.